The night shimmered with champagne and ego, the kind of evening she was born to command. It was her birthday, and she had turned our house on Pinecrest Drive in Columbus, Ohio, into a glittering stage. Candles danced in every window. Every guest treated her like the main attraction, and she soaked it in like sunlight. I stood near the kitchen island, smiling the polite smile I'd perfected, watching her float from group to group. Her laughter rang too loud. Her hand rested too long on arms that didn't belong to me. She was dazzling, yes, but her light no longer warmed me. It only blinded her. Her friend Mason, the loud, self-appointed alpha who believed charm excused everything, was already on his fourth whiskey when he decided I was the evening's entertainment. "You're a lucky man," he announced, voice carrying over the music so everyone could hear. "But seriously, how does it feel being married to the woman every guy in the room secretly wants?" The laughter that followed cut like glass. Sharp, cruel. My wife tossed her head back and laughed hardest of all, her palm flat on Mason's chest like they were old co-conspirators. Her eyes flicked to me, testing, daring, waiting for me to flinch. I didn't give her the reaction she wanted. I walked over slowly, calmly, until I stood right in front of them. Mason's grin waved just slightly. I looked him dead in the eye. "I'd answer," I said, voice low and even. "But it sounds like you're speaking from experience." I paused, let the silence settle. "So tell me, Mason, how does it feel wanting something you'll never have?" His smirk froze. The room went still. Glasses stopped halfway to lips. Someone actually muted the music. My wife's laugh died in her throat. "What the hell, Ryan?" she hissed, cheeks flushing red. "You're embarrassing me." Embarrassing her. Not the man who just insulted her husband in our own home. Not the joke she'd encouraged. Me. I met her eyes. "No, sweetheart," I said softly. "I just reminded your friend that marriage still means something, even if you forgot a long time ago." That's when she snapped. She stepped closer, perfume sweet, words poison. "Apologize to him right now," she demanded, voice shaking with rage. "Apologize or we're done." Dead silence. You could hear ice shifting in glasses. Every guest waited for the predictable ending. The husband caves, smooths things over, keeps the peace. Peace had died between us months ago, buried under late-night texts she thought I never saw, under the smug certainty that I'd never walk. I looked at her for a long second, long enough for the realization to hit her that I wasn't the same man anymore. Then I smiled, not bitter, not broken, free. "Okay," I said. "We're done." The color drained from her face. She blinked like the words were in another language. Mason tried for a nervous chuckle. "Hey, man, it was just a joke." "Yeah," I answered, setting my glass down. "So was our marriage." I straightened my jacket and walked toward the front door. Behind me, the room exploded into murmurs, but I barely heard them. She called my name once, sharp, panicked, but the door closed softer than I expected, and it sounded exactly like freedom. Outside, the October air hit my face, cold and clean. My phone started buzzing immediately, but I left it in my pocket. I drove through quiet Columbus streets until I reached the Scioto Mile overlook where we used to watch fireworks on the 4th. I parked, rolled the window down, and let the silence pour in. I wasn't angry. I was empty. And in that emptiness was the first real peace I'd felt in years. By midnight, the messages flooded in. How dare you walk out like that? Come home. It was just a stupid joke. Please, Ryan, call me. I didn't mean it like that. We can fix this. I didn't answer. Every text was proof she only wanted peace when the audience disappeared. At 2:17 a.m., she showed up at my best friend's place where I was crashing, mascara streaked, voice small. I'm sorry, she whispered, the words I once would have sold my soul to hear. But sorry isn't legal tender after respect has been bankrupt for months. I looked at her and finally saw the truth. The woman I'd loved was still in there somewhere, buried beneath the one who needed applause more than loyalty. You turned me into the villain the second I stopped playing the fool, I said quietly. I'm okay with that. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. For the first time, she understood I wasn't bluffing. You really mean it, she whispered. You said we're done, I answered. I just agreed. The next morning, the group chat lit up. Friends texted in shock. Some defended her. Others admitted they'd seen the disrespect coming for months. She spent weeks trying to rewrite the story, claiming it was all a misunderstanding, that I overreacted. But no spin could erase the truth that had walked out the door with me. Months later, I ran into her at a coffee shop downtown. She looked older, quieter, regret clinging to her like perfume. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. The memory of that night lived in her eyes. She had wanted to win the room that night. I chose to win my peace. And in the end, the loudest sound between us was the silence she once dared me to give her. Now she lives in it alone, forever remembering the night her own joke became the punchline, and her marriage became the price.